Hello everyone, how are you? Are you okay? This is the last video, okay? It's about writing, but before we start writing, before we start this lesson, I would like to have some revision with you for the suffixes, because for the suffixes, this is revision. Because you people asked me on WhatsApp how we will know the difference between ER and IST. First of all, you have to memorize for the words we add ER or for the words we add IST. This is memorize. You have to memorize, okay? حفظ. Okay. Secondly, you asked me also about the difference between the verb and the noun. I will repeat. This is the second time I will repeat this for you. It's okay. See, these verbs, how I use them, and here nouns, how I use them, we put in our previous videos, or the first one, I think, or the second one I sent to you. I put sentences, but I will repeat quickly now. Here, the action. I like to paint. I like to explore. I want to write. I like to teach. I want to play. I like to drive. I like to dance. I build a house. I work hard. I eat too much. I help my mom. Okay, but here when I put the ER, okay, here I'm talking about the person's job, the person job, or I'm talking about the person himself or the people, okay? For example, he is a painter, okay? He is an explorer. I put the noun and helping verb is verb be. She is a writer. She's a teacher, and this is very easy. How? You always use this one. The teacher teaches us every day. She teaches us every day. She's a teacher. Okay? He is a good player. He's a driver. He's a dancer. He's a builder. Sorry, he's a builder. I'm sorry. He's a builder. He's a worker. He is an eater. He is a helper. He's a good helper. Okay? So, also, I want to draw your attention when the word ends with E, I just add R, like write and explore. It has E, it ends with E, I just add R. Okay? Let's go to this. And I gave you the meaning of this one also. Okay? Here, journal, magazine or a newspaper. Novel, it's a long story. Tour is a trip. Art is a subject, or it's the fun. Guitar is an instrument. Guitar. Biology. Archaeology. This is, I gave it to you. It was in the workbook. Egypt Lost Treasure. Archaeology. The علم الآثار. Okay, people who study culture. Science, you know science. Okay, now I read a journal. I read a novel. I go on a trip. On a tour, sorry. I like art. I play guitar. I like biology. I read about archaeology, or I like archaeology. I like science. I read science. Okay, here people, persons, what their job? Journalist. He is a journalist. She's a novelist. He is a tourist. He is an artist. He is a guitarist. He is a biologist. He is an archaeologist. He is a scientist. Okay, this is the second time, and I repeated this one because also in that video the cursor was not shown and it was disappeared. Okay. Okay, now choose the correct answer. For also suffixes, we use verbs to talk about the action. I do, the action I do. We use suffix to tell about the person's job. Okay, he is writing a story. Done. He is, which one? Of course, a writer. The kids are exploring the hidden treasure. They are explorers. Shakespeare wrote long stories. He is a novelist, not novel, because I'm talking about his job. A person who visits places on holidays, he is a tourist. He is a tourist, not tour. I'm talking about him. Okay. 5. A person who makes sculptures and draws on mirror. He is an artist. I like art. See here? I like art. It's not the job. I like art. It's my favorite class. Picasso is a famous artist. See, I'm talking about Picasso. Is a famous artist. I like drawing and painting. I am a painter. My brother likes to drive. So he is a good driver. I'd like to play, of course not guitarist, of course guitar. I want to be what? I want to be in the future a guitarist. He is a builder. He is a builder. Okay? He builds houses. Done? His action, what does he do? He builds houses. 2. Science or scientists discovered. Scientists, ulama, discovered the hidden treasure underwater. 13. I'm a big chocolate eater. I like to eat. See, I like to eat a lot of chocolate. My teacher is busy. Always you say this word. My teacher is busy. She teaches us every day. I'm giving you all these examples to know, for example, in the exam, how we will give you like this to choose, for example, or to correct or to add, okay? Let's go now and revise with each other the word. Choose the correct word, okay? Revision also. Focus the map or binoculars to see the building from far away, okay? Of course, binoculars. A good archaeologist or historian knows a lot about the history. Of course, the good historian. Cars mustn't park in front of the shipwreck or entrance. Entrance, I gave you the picture. It's what? The big gate of the market. 4. The bridges and buildings broke down in the last earthquake or iceberg. Of course, earthquake, okay? Because I'm talking about the bridges and buildings. The hurricane or scuba divers hit the city at 5. Hurricane, of course, الإعصار, okay? Hit. The voyage or treasure from England to India took 6 months. Okay, of course, the voyage, the journey. Pearls or explorers are very expensive to buy, but I like to wear them. So you can't wear here explorers. Of course, you will wear the Lulu. Pearls, okay? The ships and boats in the harbor or temple were safe during the storm. Harbor, the place where the ships and boats stay. Your life is valuable or ancient. Ancient, it's old, means old. You must eat healthy food, so your life is, or your health is valuable. People on the Titanic were drowned underwater and passed away. When I say passed away, it means drowned, but sank means dived. They used a clue or compass when sailing, okay, or while sailing to know the direction. The direction north, south, east, west. People believed that the Titanic was a wreck or unsinkable because of its design. Just, it's a reminder. I want to remind you about the meaning of the vocab, of the words. Okay, girls and boys, now we will go to our writing. I'll explain, and then at the end we will write the paragraph with each other. Don't worry. See, always in writing we have maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph, it must be as what? An introduction. We write what we are going to write about and why. Then we will write here the body in details, what we are going to write, then the end. Okay? Before I explain this and read it with each other, before we read it, we will tell you the meaning of these words. Amazing, It's what? Amazing. It's interesting. It's something nice. Such as is the word like. Like. Okay, such as, مثل. I think it would. Okay, here you put the past of, well, would. Okay, because you are imagining here. For example, you know, it's the same for instance here. It's the same. They are the same. For example, for instance. We have the word volcanoes. Volcanoes. We studied the word earthquake. Do you remember? And here volcanoes. Barakin. Explorers. We studied this also in this unit. Beneath, it means under. Being an explorer. Do you like to be an explorer? Do you like to find something new, to explore something new, to find out something new, to discover something new? Of course we like. Okay, before we read, let's go here. We can use our imagination to write about something we would like to do in the future. In the future, I would like to be an explorer. This is your imagination. Okay? Now, the first paragraph, we can use lots of different adjectives to make our description more interesting. You can put description or you can put adjectives like amazing. This is what they mean by this one. We use such as, for example, like, for instance, such as مثل, for example, المثال, okay, to give examples. Then here, when we are imagining what a situation might be like, we use would. I imagine here. So would, for facts or things we know are true. These are suggestions. It's not necessary. It's not compulsory. مش ضروري. Okay? But this is the explanation. When I use imagination, I say, I think it would. Okay? We finish by giving a final reason for our choice. It means you put your idea here. Let's read it. You will understand more and more. I'd love to be an explorer. I'd love to be an underwater explorer because I love seeing new places. Why do you like to be an explorer? Because I love seeing new places, or I love to see new places and being in the sea. I like to be in the sea. I love seeing, I love watching, I love looking at amazing things such as a colorful fish. I think it would be fantastic, something nice to look at the bottom of the ocean. See, this is the introduction. You write here why you want to be an explorer, underwater explorer, why you want to dive underwater, why you want to be underwater, to see amazing things such as like colorful fish. Okay, now let's go to our writing here. Underwater explorers do different things. Some explorers are scientists. They are scientists. They do scientific research. For example, looking at underwater volcanoes. Why? They go underwater to look at different things. For example, underwater volcanoes. They also make maps of different areas. Other underwater explorers are historians. Some of them are scientists, some of them are historians. They examine, they test shipwrecks, the destroyed what? Ship, and objects inside them. Okay, like treasure and ancient old possessions. They learn lots of things about the past. For instance, for example, how people used to live. Some underwater explorers are environmentalists. Okay? They look at the environment. They study how animals live beneath the ocean and check for pollution. It's not necessary we write the same, but we understand the idea. I start with the introduction here, why I like to be an explorer. Here, if I am underwater, what I see, why I am underwater, and here my idea. Okay, I think all of these things would be really interesting to do. That's why I'd love to be an underwater explorer. Hear your idea. What do you think and why? What do you think and why you like to be an underwater explorer? It's not necessary to do the same. Here, when we look at the picture, they are underwater. Look at this man. Okay, he is underwater. He wants to explore something new. The colorful fish, the shipwreck. Okay, and they want here to know, the scientists, what's going on underwater, what's there underwater. Is it interesting? I think it's an amazing topic. We will choose our topic. Now, it's not necessary to write about underwater. We will choose our topic. Maybe I will be an explorer in space. I will be an explorer underwater, in the sea. Maybe I will be an explorer where in the ocean, in the river, wherever. Okay, we will choose our topic. Again, here the introduction, the beginning. Okay, what you are going to be and why. Here, what do you do? And here, your idea. Here, workbook, page 64. Such as, for example, like, for instance. Okay? C. A cave explorer goes underground. Cave. Now we studied about underwater explorer. In that slide, this slide, cave explorer goes underground. Okay? If you are underwater explorer, you go underground, underwater. Okay? If you want to be an explorer in the sea, you go where? Underwater. But cave explorer, okay, goes underground to explore caves, such as who? Gitta Grotto in Lebanon. Okay, they took for clues about the history. They look for clues about the history, keys or information, pieces of information about the history by looking at parts of the cave, okay? For instance, here you go the answer. For instance, okay, on the wall or in the rocks. They can also find out about history by studying things like rock paintings. The rock paintings in the Congo caves in South Africa, for example, مثلا, were made by people many hundred years ago. These words, we put them here, the blue ones. Okay, so we studied about explorer underwater in the sea. Here, explorer underground to find out about caves, painting in the cave. Look at the different types of explorer. Tick. Now, a space explorer, a desert explorer, a mountain explorer. I prefer you and I write about a space explorer. I want to be a space explorer because I don't know a lot about the desert. I don't know about the mountain. Let's talk about this. 3 places they go to. What? Space? When they go to space, 3 things they go. Okay, for example, or 3 things they do in space, or 3 things they see in space. We will write about places we see in space, 3 things we see in space, 3 we do in space, 3 things we see in space. For example, okay, we will write about a space. I would like to be a space explorer. Come with me. Here you go. Okay, this is our writing for today. We decided with each other to write about what? To write about space. Today, I want to be a space explorer. Our title, we always, in our writing, we always write the title. Don't forget to write the title, and capital letter the words, not the article, the word, capital letter. This is one thing. Secondly, go now to your workbook, page 64, okay? Write about which explorer you would like to be and why. Okay. I decided to be a space explorer. Do you remember that slide? They gave us the picture of the mountain explorer, the desert explorer, the space explorer. I don't know a lot about mountain. I don't know a lot about what? About the desert. Let's decide to write with each other about space because it's an amazing topic. I'd love to live in space. Why? Let's see. And they ask us also to write 3 things we see, 3 things we do, 3 things we go. Okay? It's okay. Also, I forgot to tell you, in any writing here, when you use your imagination, or I want to talk about facts, I use what? The present simple tense. I love, I look, I see, I go. Okay, present. Our topic, being an explorer. I think what I want to be? I want to be a space explorer. Why? Okay. As I mentioned before, we have to write the introduction. Okay. The introduction, the beginning. Okay. General idea. To be clear, what I want to be. I'd love to be a space explorer because I love to see the space and discover new things such as the planets and stars. I think it's nice. It's amazing. It's nice. It's good to find out, to discover and explore new things. People who travel into space are called astronauts. We studied about archaeologists, scientists, okay, what else? Historian, archaeologists, scientists, okay. Here, astronauts, okay. Astronauts, we call them people who go into space, we call them astronauts, okay. People who, do you remember the word who? I use it for people. Okay, relative pronoun. This is the introduction. This is the introduction about my topic for today. I want to be an explorer. What? Space explorer. Why? To discover. What? Why? Because it's nice. What we call them? Astronauts. It's a new word. Okay. Here, my topic in details. The second one, we can do different things in space. For example, we can do a research about the planets, stars, moon, and sun. Okay, we can see amazing things, interesting things, wonderful things. Okay, fabulous. Okay, things while we are in space. For instance, what do we see while we are in space? The buildings and people. Do we see them in space? Of course, no. Beneath the space, under the space. Okay, but they are small when we are in space. We can also see the sky and clouds. We must take with us binoculars, maps, binoculars to see, maps to know the direction, and compass to know the direction, the place. We must wear special clothes like space suits. We have to take with us, or what do we have to do? What do we have to wear? Space suits to protect ourselves from cold. Finally, at the end, my conclusion, the end, I think it's interesting to travel. It's amazing to travel into space and live there. I think it's quieter and not crowded. That's why I'd love to be a space explorer. See, this is the end. Your idea about the space. It's interesting. Why? Because it's quieter, not crowded. Okay? That's why I love to be a space explorer. And here you write what in details, what do we do there in space, and here the introduction, and we use present simple tense. I love, I can, we were, we can. Okay, we were, we must take, or we take. Okay, and here is the end. You will write this topic in your workbook till we see you. Okay, inshallah. Till we see each other على خير. Ya Rab. We ask God to see each other. You will write, don't memorize. Don't memorize. Just write it, understand the idea, okay, and how I use the words, how I use who, how I use present simple, how I use for example, for instance, what I take with me, how I end my paragraph, till we see each other. Good luck, everyone. We love you a lot. Missed you a lot. We will see you as soon as possible. Thank God. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching our videos. Repeat them again and again. Try to understand every word. Don't we want you to memorize the meaning of the vocab and the grammar. Okay, understand the grammar, but the rest of the lessons, understand the idea. Watch again and again. Thank you a lot.